Energy giants Shell and Total have announced yet another quarter of record-breaking profits. They plan to buy back a combined $8 billion worth of shares in the coming months. The parent company of British Gas also reported first-half operating profits that were 5 times higher than a year earlier. Energy companies have been coming under growing pressure as they continue to reap the benefits of high global oil and gas prices. Some countries are considering a temporary tax on those profits to offset the pain for consumers. Spain's government submitted a draft bill on the idea this Thursday, while UK lawmakers approved plans for a 25% windfall tax earlier this month. Well, let's speak to our London correspondent, Benedicte Paviot now. Benedicte, the UK is facing inflation of over 9%. Energy prices make up a huge part of that. These record profits must be a bit hard to swallow for people who are struggling to pay their bills.
Yeah, very hard for millions of people. So as the UK faces a cost of living crisis and UK consumers face crippling energy bills that they simply don't know how they're going to pay, and that's people who have jobs, two energy giants, Shell and British Gas, the British owner of Centrica, have announced huge profits. So Shell saw its profits soar and hit a new all-time high with second quarter profits of £9.5 billion. That's nearly £10 billion. As for Centrica, the parent company of British Gas, it recorded an increase in operating profits to £1.34 billion. So speaking, as you mentioned, of the windfall tax, the scale of the oil companies' profits has really prompted the UK government and huge pleas from the opposition, notably the Labour Party, for demands for the introduction of windfall tax to redistribute some of those profits. So this is, as I said, happening in the middle of a leadership campaign between, as we know, former Chancellor Rishi Sunak and current Foreign Secretary Liz Truss. And of course, that leadership campaign will lead to a new Tory leader, but also to a new UK Prime Minister and cabinet government in early September. So Liz Truss has said she would not impose a windfall tax despite record profits for energy firms. She says that that kind of tax damages investment, discourages business from setting up shop in the UK. But at the end of May, then Chancellor Rishi Sunak announced what he called, quote, a temporary targeted energy profits levy of 25%, but with a 90% tax relief for firms that invest in oil and gas extraction in the UK.
And Benedicte, as you mentioned, this cost of living crisis is really dominating the leadership contest within the Conservative Party. What concrete measures might come in to help households and businesses in the coming months?
Well, let's be clear. Higher energy prices have fueled inflation to a 99.4% high. That's the high in 40 years, the biggest high, set to go to 10 or 11% in the autumn. You have got energy bills that are unprecedentedly rising, £700 rise just in April, and they're predicted to keep rising. So consumer experts are very worried. They're warning that a typical energy bill here could hit nearly £4,000 a year by next January. That's much higher than earlier forecasts, even earlier forecasts this month. That's the rate and the speed of increases. So we know that gas prices are rising dramatically worldwide. That squeeze on energy supplies, there's tensions with Russia since it invaded Ukraine. So what help, you ask? Well, the UK government has said that every household in the UK will get an energy bill discount of £400 this autumn. Others, people who are already in fuel poverty and hard up, poorer households will get more help. And that is all part of a package of new measures to tackle rising prices. But a top consumer expert today has warned that more needs to be done, not in a few months' time, not waiting till September, but right now. And he's urging the two Conservative candidates battling to succeed Boris Johnson and become the new UK Prime Minister to act now, to announce more measures now. So the question is, will Martin Lewis's call be heard by Mr. Sunak and Ms. Truss at a time when the prices of food, petrol, broadband, taxes and many other essentials are rising here? That is the answer that millions of people who are growing increasingly anxious and who can already not pay their higher bills are really stressing out about. And there are huge concerns here, amongst other things, for people's mental health. as they absolutely know they cannot face that £4,000 alleged bill that we might get by next January.
All right, Benedicte Paviot, thank you so much for all the latest from London.